Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, How to Use Google Marketing, SEO, and Google Ads with Sid Lowell. Today, you're listening using your computer speaker system by default. You'll have the opportunity to submit questions to Sid by typing them into the questions pane on the control panel. You may send in your questions at any time. We will collect these and address them during the Q&A session at the end. He is a domain expert in digital marketing, specialising in search marketing, and is a speaker and instructor at various industry forums, including TEDx, DMAI, SES, AdTech, etc. In 2005, he used his digital marketing knowledge to transform his entire business from an offline model into an internet marketing-powered inbound sales organisation, which translated into $15 million in online sales for its channel partners. He has worked with leading brands like Atos, NEC, Bata, Savin, ICICI, Lombard, Goibibo, and helped them massively scale up their online presence by optimizing their digital marketing strategy. Bruce Clay Inc. is a global digital marketing agency established in USA in 1996 that specializes in search marketing, CEO, and paid search. I will now hand this over to Sid.
Hey, thanks so much, Ida, for that lovely introduction. And welcome to all the Australian Promotional Product Association members. I hope we have a fantastic session and you guys get some great industry insights, because I did spend some time trying to put some good stuff together for you guys. So it is obviously Ida has already given a little bit of an introduction. I'll just talk a little bit more about our company and myself, and then we'll move into first a little bit of a broader digital marketing framework, and then zoom in into Google, and then finally into industry insights and the customer journey for the promotional product industry with SEO, Google Ads, etc. If you would like to connect with me, I'm available on Twitter at Sid Lowell. I'm also on LinkedIn, and the details are there, and I'll also bring them up at the very end of the presentation. So our company, which is Bruce Clay Australia, Bruce Clay started this business back in 1996 in the United States, and we specialize in search marketing, that's SEO and Google Ads. And we offer the entire framework. So we offer SEO, Google Ads. Content has always been a part of SEO, analytics, website design, etc. We've got offices in the United States, in Dubai, in India, in Asia, etc. If you've got a mobile phone in front of you, and if you typed in father of SEO, you should come up with our brand, Bruce Clay. We have also written the most comprehensive book on SEO. It's part of the Dummies series of books. So the search engine optimization for dummies, if you go to Amazon, it's in its 3rd edition. And we also have a blog that's followed by literally tens of thousands of marketers globally. We do SEO training, Google Ads, etc. And we are also a Google partner. A little bit about myself. I started in the industry about close to 20 years ago now. I graduated from the University of Technology with an MBA specializing in e-commerce. And initially I did all the standard sales, etc. But then I figured out there has to be a better way to sell. So I set up a website, bestphonedeals.com.au. Which is there on your screen. And this is the one that went on to do over $15 million of sales for various telco partners. And I'll show you a screenshot in another one from about 20 years ago of Google and our website. I'll just bring that up in a second. Just yesterday, I actually had applied to become a certified practicing marketer with the AMI, and I just got that qualification. So I'm really, really happy about that. And I also speak at many industry events, including TEDx, etc. So this is the screenshot. This is a Google screenshot from about 2005. And as you can see up there, that's our website. It's got a red circle around it, and there's 2 parts to it. There's the on the left is the organic SEO, and on the right is Google Ads. The reason I brought this up is only because I wanted to tell you people that, all of you probably have websites, and you can use the power of the internet using Google Ads and SEO to get sales or qualified leads, etc., from your website. I won't go into much detail on this at this point of time, so let's just get into the presentation. This is my favorite slide in the entire deck, and the reason for it is I like to think of the website as a 24/7 sales superstar. You know, this is your digital shop front, and with this you can reach a global audience or a pan-Australian audience, whatever the story may be for you. The website is always awake. You get good copy, great images on the website, and it helps you do the selling. So your job is to then get people from different parts of the web coming to your website, right? And this can be done through various channels like Google, Facebook, YouTube, so social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, etc. And you drive these people into your website, and then let your website do the magic, of taking the customer through a journey and converting them into that end product, which is the sale, which could be a lead or actual sale, e-commerce sale, depending on what your website is. So while the focus of the presentation, but I just wanted to make you aware that, look, don't overlook any of the other channels. So YouTube, by the way, is the second largest search engine in the world after Google, right? So you do want to have a look at that. Facebook, obviously, from a social media perspective, social ads perspective, is another great channel. Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn. So depending on whether it's a B2B audience or a B2C audience, you will want to select your channels and test them out. So why does Google marketing matter? Well, if you really think about it, Google is the most dominant search engine in the world. In Australia, this is a slightly older stat, but in Australia now it's closer to a 95% market share. And today, whether we want to think about it, whether you want to buy a car, rent a house, buy a watch, buy a phone, buy your promotional products, right? Anything that you want, the first thing you do is you go to Google, right? And there's research that says that 95%, 94% of consumers actually research products online before they make that purchase decision, right? So Google is an intent-based medium, right? You reach potential customers while they're actually browsing, researching, or comparing the different types of products that you are selling. So whether you're selling a promotional water bottle, umbrella, promotional apparel, you name it. And today the latest craze is masks and sanitizers. As I was doing a little bit of research on your industry, I came across websites, and that's what they have them front and center. So people, and this is what I say in Google, that people come online with an intent, right? And that's what we call an in-market audience, and we want to take advantage of this audience. For some of those people who don't understand the difference between the two parts of Google, which is SEO versus Google, put this up on the screen. So here, let's say a user has typed in a query such as branded corporate gifts. And as you can see on the screen, on the top are paid search ads. And these are also labeled with that small little ad next to it. And the first website you see up the top is flashbay.com.au. And they seem to be selling, corporate gifts such as USB, power banks, audio, etc. The second website you see is promotionalproductexperts.com.au, and they're saying they're selling promotional branded gifts. On the right-hand side is the Google Shopping Network, and here also you're seeing various websites advertising their Christmas hampers, gift packages, etc., custom bobbleheads. Now, on the left-hand side of the screen, This is the organic search results. So this, whereas in Google Ads, it's basically a straightforward medium. You pay money to Google and your ad appears over there, right? So Google Ads is instant. You can pay money to Google right now and your ads will start appearing pretty much instantly. So depending on your marketing budget, you can start driving traffic to your website as soon as you decide that this is a medium you want to make an investment in. On the other hand, on the left-hand side, what you're seeing, again, someone has typed in that same query, branded corporate gifts, and just below the Google ads is the organic search results. And here you're seeing the first website, for example, is promotionproducts.com.au. And the second site you're seeing is corporategiftexperts.com.au, and so on, fresh promotions, etc. Now, these are organic search results. Now, the difference is with organic search results, you do not pay any money whatsoever to Google, right? Google selects these sites on its own using its proprietary algorithm. Now, it is very, very difficult to get up there, but if you do, you hit pay dirt. So if you can see up the top, just below that branded corporate gifts search box, it shows a really large number, right? Something like 13.7 million results for that branded corporate gifts. So that's exactly what it is, that there are so many web pages that Google has found which have this particular query on their page, or Google thinks that it fits the results. So from those 13 million results to come to those top 10, which is the first page of Google, is a very difficult journey. But those who make it get rewarded big time. And there are some people in your industry that are actually doing just that. And I will show this to you later in this presentation as well. So let's talk about the customer journey. Each brand moment matters, and every time a consumer interacts with your brand, it raises the value of your brand in their eye. So in 1898, Elmo Lewis, an advertising pioneer, invented the ADA marketing model. That's attention, interest, desire, and action. And it still holds true today. As per that, consumers go through a process of purchasing a product and the various stages that I just mentioned. So traditionally, this process took some time, but with the advent of the internet, this process has become supercharged. Today, consumer journeys have a habit of starting in the online space. Whether you want to buy or rent a house, go to the movies, plan your holiday, it all starts on Google. So as an example, if you are in business and you want to ensure your presence is there on Google. So unless you've spent a ton of money on advertising, people will not be aware of your brand, but they know the product or service that they're looking for. Therefore, they jump on Google and they type in generic search queries. Now, if your brand is present at this particular point of time, then it increases the value of your brand. The top of the funnel goal, that awareness set that you're looking at, is to get as many first page results there. So let's just have a look at the user search behavior. So as you can see on your screen, there are various ways that a user might search for your product or service. So they could be product-based searches, where someone is actually searching for things like promotional drink bottles, promotional clothing, corporate gifts, power bank. So in this case, the user has already sort of gone one level deeper than the absolute top of the funnel. They already are thinking of a particular product that they might be interested in. So that's how they are going to do a search. On the other hand, you might have users who haven't made up their mind at all. They're completely like in a blank state. So here, again, they don't know your particular company, but they know what they're looking for. And therefore, they might do a generic query, such as promotional products, promotional gifts, corporate gifting, corporate branded gifts, and so on. So these are guys who are right at the top of the funnel. And you want to get people who are both right at the top of the funnel, people who have sort of made up their mind on the type of product they're interested in, because you obviously have got a huge range of products on your website, so you can sort of cater to them. Then you have other people who might be doing an event-based search. For example, Christmas is coming up at the moment. So people might be searching for corporate Christmas gifts, corporate Christmas hampers. And then finally, you have people who might be aware of a brand in the industry because maybe the brand has been there for a long time, so the company is well known, and therefore they might actually type in the brand name on the internet. And if you can get there, that's absolute nirvana, because these are people who are very familiar with your brand, and it brings a lot of trust with it as well. And that's what you want to do. So let's have a look at some stats associated with these keywords for your industry. So what we have done is we've taken a bunch of keywords that we thought were important for your industry, and we sort of did a little bit of research around it. And I'm sure as we do more research, there will be many keywords that will come up. But just to give you an example, now here, there is about 4,400 searches done every month on average on Google for promotional products. So imagine these are your users, because no one's just going to go in and do a search for promotional products unless they don't have any kind of intent of buying such a product, right? So if I'm not interested in a promotional product, I'm not going to go to Google and start typing promotional product. So the person who is typing that into Google means that they have got some kind of intent, some kind of familiarity of what they want to do. So they are exploring this option, and that's why your website should be appearing when someone is searching for this type of a query. Corporate gifting is another one, and as you can see, there's about 1,300 searches a month for corporate gifting. And as you scroll down, you will see that there are many others. Some people are searching for cheap promotional items, right? Now, next to it, in the other column, I also want to show that along with this, we have shown you what Google thinks it would charge you if you decided to advertise on these keywords, right? So Google has an auction-based system. So if you say, hey, I would like to advertise, and you say promotional products, I want my ad to appear exactly when someone searches for promotional products. If your ad appears on the top of the page, you can expect to pay anywhere from $2 to $8. That's your range for those top 1 or 2, 3 ad positions that are coming up there, right? So this is just to give you an example of the various keywords, how many people are searching. So that's your volumes and market size, etc. And then if you decided to advertise, what would it cost you to do this advertisement? So here we've shown you now, someone has typed in branded corporate gifts, and these are some of the websites that are appearing from an organic search perspective. So Promotion Products is there, Cubic Promote is there, Corporate Gift Experts is there. And so these websites are getting a lot of traction on the web. And I will show you some of them as well. Now, I wanted to give an example. Now, this is a client of ours. It's called B. Now, they are in the metal privacy screen type of metal fencing type of business. They are very small business, and their target market is in the United States, even though they are an Australian company. The reason I'm showing this is people don't know about them. So people are going onto the web and they are typing in a query such as you can see on the left, metal privacy screen, or on the right, outdoor metal screen panels. In both those cases, you can see there's like 215 million search results that Google has come up with. And on that first page, our client has got up there. Now you can see the kind of competitors there are there. So Walmart is right up there. Amazon is right up there. And this tiny little website has come up right next to them. So it increases the brand value. It gets people clicking on them because people were not thinking about our client. And now because they're right up there, they are going to click on the website, come to the website, have a look. And if they like what they see, they'll either put a query in or actually end up buying the product. So that's exactly what you guys also want to do. We did a little bit of an industry analysis. And this is what we found. So what you're seeing is a bunch of websites that we believe are doing really well from an industry perspective. So there is cubicpromote.com.au, and it seems to be having the #1 site in terms of the amount of traffic around promotional products that are coming to their particular website. So they seem to be doing really, really well. And their Alexa rank, which you're seeing, it's sort of like a global ranking index. And their website is ranked within Australia, as an example. They are ranked at the top between these sites that we came up with. So they are ranked at 582,000, right? This is globally, right? But within Australia, they're the #1 site in terms of promotional products, basically. Promotionproducts.com.au is another website which is very close behind them, and they are also getting a significant amount of traffic to their website. Then you go to promotions only, fully promoted, and so on and so forth. So this is just a bunch of sites. Obviously, when we do more research, we would come to know, what are some of the other sites. So there could be sites we have missed out on as well. But this is just to give you an idea on some of the sites that are doing really, really well. And as you can see, between just the first and the 10th site that I've got down there, Corporate Essentials ranking has gone from, Alexa ranking, has gone from Cubic Promote, which was at 585,000, leading the pack in Australia, to Corporate Essentials, which is at 6 million, right, global ranking. So you can see the amount of traffic drops down significantly for some of these sites. Now, apart from those 10, then we use this to get some more industry analysis. And here are a bunch of other websites that are also there in Australia around the promotional product industry, which are closer in fit to these couple of top websites, which are promotion products and Cubic. So we use these two as our basic sites because we found them to be doing good work and ranking well. And we came up, so there's palspromotions.com.au, there's Vivid Promotions, Custom Gear. So there's a huge range of these sites. And if you're one of those sites, you know that at least you're online and you're doing a decent job, with them. Then we looked at some further industry insights, and we found that promotion products, for example, in the organic space, seems to be leading the pack, followed by Cubic Promote. Similarly, they are also spending some money on paid advertising. So they've got some paid advertising going on as well. Now let's do a slightly deeper dive to promotion products first. This is their website. And as you can see, lots of images. And this sort of brings up their competitive positioning. And as you can see, they're the brown circle up the top, and they've got a huge amount of traffic. So this is estimated traffic. Remember, we don't have access to their website, so I can't give you an exact figure, but it seems to be about 30,000 is what their website traffic is. Cubic Promote is sitting at about 10,000 as per this particular chart. And this is just purely organic search results. Now, this is their journey. So if you look at this traffic trend, back about 4 years ago, promotionproducts.com.au was nowhere at the top of your industry in terms of website traffic. So you can see, back in 2016, 2017, their organic traffic was not much at all. And then over the last 4 years, you can see this curve, how it's really jumped up and the traffic has really ballooned up, right? So it shows that they've been doing a lot of work on their website in terms of SEO, content, all of that. And that's helped them on a very, very good journey. And that means if there's huge amount of traffic, that's going to lead to good sales. And the traffic is very targeted. Now have a look at this next slide. Now here, what you're seeing is we did a deeper dive and we figured out what are the types of products that people are searching for when their particular website comes up at the top of Google. So you can see when someone types in, for example, promotional products or corporate gifts or promotional items, their website is ranked on the first position. And therefore, they are going to get a huge amount of people clicking on them and coming to their website. Not only are they ranked for completely generic searches, so when the user is not even aware of their particular brand, they're just typing in a generic query, but even when a user is searching for a product, for example, custom water bottles or promotional pens, at even this point of time, their website is ranked #1 on Google, and therefore they're getting a huge amount of traffic. And the interesting thing is that even when people are not using, say, a custom branded or promotional type of uh, keyword, but just a completely generic product like fidget spinner. So if you see it at the bottom, you'll see at position 12, just for the word fidget spinner, they are on the 12th position. So they're not on page 1 of Google, they're on page 2. But look at that, there's about 15,000 searches for it, and they're on a completely generic search. They're also coming up. So if they do a little bit more work, they will get some good amount of traffic and traction from there. I'm now going to jump to another one of the top websites, Cubic Promote. And Cubic Promote also, as you can see in this chart, about 5 years ago, their journey also, they were right at the bottom doing as so as you can see in Jan 2015. But then they started working on their website and their content and their SEO and all of that and Google Ads. And over a period of time, their website traffic has also jumped up massively, right? And they're doing a really good job in terms of getting a lot of traffic. And now again, let's have a look at what is the type of traffic that is coming to their website. So again, one is their branded term. So someone types in Cubic Promote, they get some chunk of traffic from there. But even when someone types in promotional umbrellas, they're at the first position, so they get a lot of traffic from there. People type in promotional lollies or custom socks Australia, branded shirts. They're getting traffic from all of this. And then have a look at another part of their strategy. Someone has typed in hand sanitizers and wipes, or someone types that into the search, or someone's looking for hand sanitizers in bulk. Even for those new search terms, which really started post-COVID, they are on page 2 of Google. Fine, they won't get that much traffic because they're on page 2, but at least it shows that they're on the right path. So now, another thing apart from the SEO stuff that you can do, you can also use Google Ads, right? So this is when someone types in, for example, in this case, promotional products, your ad would appear either on the left side, which you can see, which are the text ads, and I've circled them. And you can see there's promotionalproductexperts.com.au, there is promotionswarehouse.com.au, there's Flashbay. So there's a bunch of sites on the left that are promoting their ads on Google. And then on the right, we are seeing Google Shopping Network sites. And these are also sites that are promoting their ads on Google. So you've got these two different ways you can promote on Google in the search network, right? So that's another way you can build traffic to your website. Then here's another search, operating companies, and you can again see Flashbay. It was there on the previous slide also. You can see at the bottom, they're advertising, and even for corporate gifting, they're advertising. So that shows that they're spending some money in the Google advertising network. Another way you can also get traffic to your website is through the Google Display Network. Now, the Google Display Network is when users are not really going to Google and typing a search, but rather when users are on any part of the internet, for example, reading the newspaper, Sydney Morning Herald, news.com.au, etc. Or they could be checking their Gmail. They could be on YouTube. Remember, YouTube is also owned by Google. So when they're doing any of these things, or even going to a small blogging website that's talking about maybe promotional products, etc., at that point of time, your ad will appear on Google, right? So in this case, what I'm showing you is an example that I was, for example, on Sydney Morning Herald website, and I was reading. And at that particular point of time, couple of ads appeared. I have just superimposed one ad just to give you an example. So this is novelties. Now, it was not there ad that appeared. I'm just superimposed this to give you an idea that exactly when someone's researching or reading on the news, that's when your ad will appear. And you can customize it so that it does not just appear randomly. Google has some very, very powerful features that you can use to ensure that your ads appear at the exact right point of time. So you can use things like geographic filters, you can use time of day targeting, you can use topic-based targeting. So your ad only appears when maybe someone's reading the business section, or certain keywords trigger it. So it's very, very powerful. Here is an example of your ad. When someone is reading, for example, on the right side, you're seeing there's a Business Insider, that's a website, and they have an article about 23 corporate gifts your co-workers and employees will actually like. So at exactly this point of time, your ad can appear, which I've shown on the right-hand side. Now, this particular ad is about a trade broker, but it could have been your ad, you know. So appearing exactly when someone, because no one is just going to read about corporate gifts unless they've got some kind of association with it. So if your brand appears at that point of time, it increases your brand value, right? So how do you get better rankings in SEO? So what you could do, basically in SEO, there's three things that you can do. There is on-page SEO, there is technical SEO, and there's off-page SEO. I'm not going to bore you by getting into too much details, just to let you know that basically on-page SEO is basically about keywords, it's about content, it's about meta tags that communicate to both people and search engines what your website is about. Therefore, it is important to have relevant keywords and content on your website. Technical SEO is things like site architecture. How do pages link within the different parts of your website? What are the URL structures? What about the website performance, like page speed, etc. Right? Off-page SEO is more in terms of links and brand mentions. They are an important signal to the search engines to evaluate the rankings of a website. So it's crucial to understand not just any inbound link will bring value, it's the quality of the link and the theme of the link that will matter, right? So this is just an example of site architecture. We won't go into any detail on it. Speed, that's something you guys really want to look at. So the faster the website loads up, the better it is for your users, and the better it is from a Google ranking perspective. And these are just some stats associated with it that look, if your site takes like 10 seconds or more to load, the chances of the bounce, that is someone not willing to wait, increases by about 123%. So you do want to make sure your site loads up really quickly. Another thing you want to be very aware of is mobile phones. Today, mobile phones are increasingly becoming the first point of contact between a brand and a consumer. You think about it, you could be waiting at the dentist, you could be waiting in your car for, maybe you've got kids to pick up, or your wife's gone shopping or something, right? Or your husband, for that matter, has gone shopping and you're waiting in the car. So whichever way, you bring out your mobile and you start doing searches. So mobiles are increasingly becoming that first point of contact. So you want to make sure your own website is accessible via mobile, and it's giving a good user journey through that. So you want to go through that user journey and that mobile experience. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, but it could also kill your Google marketing strategy if you're not careful. Now, I'll give you an example. One of our clients is in the travel trade, and they had these amazingly great pictures of the Maldives on their website, and we were running a Google ad campaign for them. And what we noticed is the Google ad campaign was not working very well, and people were bouncing out very quickly. So we did some analysis, and what we ended up finding is that those pictures on their websites were really huge, even though they were very beautiful, but they were taking time to load up. There was one particular picture, hero banner, which was like 4 MB. It just killed the site load time. And therefore, people were not, waiting. So what we did is we optimized the site by improving the picture quality, etc. And by doing that, we noticed that it the Google ad campaign started performing. So then let's just move into, and what I'm showing you over here is the promotion products. Now these promotion products, as an example, any of your industry will have promotion products over here. So there are lots of pictures on your websites, right? There are like mugs, bottles, t-shirts, pens, all these. So loads and loads of pictures. So you guys really need to be careful about the load time on your website due to these images that are there. Let's talk a little bit about content, because that helps your web on Google. I won't do a deep dive on this. All I want to talk to you about is the fact that you want to make sure that you have great content on your website. And the way to do this is either, if you guys have been in business for a long period of time, you might actually have created lots of content from an offline perspective, from brochures and stuff. So maybe you can take that and convert that into an online perspective. And if you don't have content, then you should research and figure out what are people searching for in your industry, and then create content around that. But make sure whatever you do, it really is fantastic content, because otherwise there's loads and loads of content being generated on the web, and you'll just be one out of a million other websites, and you will never rank. And I will also show you a couple of examples from your industry as well, just moving ahead. And just also want to say, think about where your audiences are, and therefore create content according to that audience. Are they on Q&A sites like Quora or Yahoo Answers? Are they on Reddit, Facebook? You have to think about where those audiences are, and then create content according to that. The content could also be in the form of pictures. So think about Instagram, Pinterest, etc. Now here, I've given you a couple of examples. Someone has done a search on Google for corporate gift ideas. So again, remember that customer user journey we talked about. So this is someone who's right at the top of the funnel, and they haven't made up their mind on what they want to, a particular product. Now, some of your competitor websites have understood this and created articles and put it up on their website. And this is what is ranking. So here is an example. This is a blog on HubSpot. Here is a Business Insider. Here is Snack Nation. So you can see these are all blogs that have been written by these websites. And these are ranking on Google when someone searches, and that's driving traffic to them and increasing their brand value. I've taken the example of Cubic Promote over here now. Now, Cubic Promote, for example, I figured out had about 370 articles they have written over the last few years. And I've even classified them into various sections. So there's articles around promotional products, there's articles around merchandise, etc. And here is an example. Now, these are two examples I'm showing you, which are right there on the Cubic website right now. Look at it. They're talking on a logo for Campbell Soup's promotional items. And they're talking about how Campbell Soup's, it's not something you would really think about from a promotional idea, but they tied it in with warmth, and therefore they've created this really warm jacket type of apparel, which they created for Campbell Soup fans, and they've written about that. Similarly, they've written another article around promotional products for your industry. So you can see that they're doing a lot of work around creating content, and that's what helping them gain traffic for their website. So in terms of a return on investment, in terms of Google Ads, I've taken those same searches that I had brought up earlier in the presentation, and I've taken an average based on the top of the page and bottom of the page, but not page, but in terms of the top of the Google ad network. And the average cost per click is about $4.50 if you average this out. So when you run your promotional campaign, what you want to do is, this is an example, you can take it through in your own time as well. But essentially what I want to say is, if you spent about $10,000 on a Google marketing campaign, right, and you ended up making a total revenue of $22,000 from it, And because that revenue is not your actual revenue, because you've got the cost of goods sold, so you might only end up making, say, $8,800. But when you look at it in terms of the amount you spent, which was $10,000 on Google Ads plus, say, $2,000 on managing the campaign, you ended up with a loss. So you might end up saying to yourself, I don't want to invest in Google Ads, but this might be a shorter, myopic decision, and you really want to look at it from a big picture perspective. And what is that big picture perspective? Remember that user journey we talked about. So imagine these are people right at the bottom. They've done that action bit, they've converted, and they've become your customer. But now, what about that post-purchase action? What can you do over here? This is where you can talk about the CRM strategy, which is the post-purchase action, customer relationship management. And what you do is the concept is lifetime value of a customer. So you want to think about what is the value of a returning customer, if you can help them make a repeat purchase, because once they maybe clicked on that Google ad and they came to your website, and they maybe made a purchase, you have their details, especially their email ID. So you can now create an email marketing campaign based around this, and you can therefore encourage people to do a repeat purchase. So you can use that marketing database in a really good way. I've shown you an example of Domino's, which I totally love because of the amazing marketing that they do. And I receive their emailers pretty much on a daily basis, right? And these are just 3 samples over here. This is how effectively Domino's is using that marketing database. And over a lifetime, they will, from that one original purchase, they will get me to do maybe hundreds and hundreds of purchases. Now, I'm not saying that you can repeat that and get hundreds of purchases, but even if you can get multiple purchases and the value of each purchase, especially if, is hundreds and hundreds of dollars, it could be really worth a fortune. So that's it from my side. I do want to make an offer to you guys, and that is, if any of you would like a free SEO or Google Ads quick audit, followed by a 15-minute free quick consultation, first 5 people who respond back to me, I'll be happy to put together something for you guys. You can connect with me on my email ID, which is slal@bruceclay.com. And you can also reach out to me via LinkedIn. So I hope you guys enjoyed the presentation. Ida, if there's any questions, I'll be happy to take that.
Thank you, Sid, for this fantastic presentation. We do have a question that has come through. This question is in relation to the first stat slide of your presentation.
Okay, let me just go back there. Okay. There.
No, I believe it was, yes, that one there. They were wondering if these stats are based on Australia or globally.
Yeah, these stats are specific to Australia. So now we have ways of looking at the stats and sort of customizing to different geographies. So we can look at it from a worldwide perspective, US, etc. But this is specifically for Australia.
Perfect. Thank you for answering that. We've had another question come through. On your ROI slide,
yeah,
how do you ascertain this before launching a campaign?
That's a really good question. So you have been running your business for a while, so you would already know some of these stats, right? So for example, you would have an idea in terms of what is your margin, for example, on the sale. You probably know what are your top selling products, etc. So based on that, you already understand that part. The other thing you can look at, from my perspective, I've taken a what if scenario. I've used a conversion rate of 1% of the people coming to a site will convert. And I've seen that on a lot of e-commerce sites. So I've used that as a 1% thing. However, there are some sites that can even get a 2 or 3% conversion rate, right? And on the other hand, you will have websites which have not really done a great job of their site, and therefore the conversion rate will drop down even further. So it's a matter of testing, but you need to start somewhere. So I would say let's take a conversion rate, a conservative conversion rate of 1%, right? So now based on that, and then the other stat that I already gave you, which is in the previous slide where I said that, hey, the average cost per click. So when someone clicks on your ad, the average cost per click is $4.50. So I've used that and I've said, okay, if someone spent $10,000 on marketing, now that is a figure that will vary for yourself. So if your budget, for example, and now that's the other point about Google, guys. You can even start with a much smaller budget. You could start with $500, right? Even $100. But you want to give it a little bit of money. So imagine you spent $1,000 and you said, okay, it's going to cost me $4.50 a click. That means I might get, just on as an example, 250 clicks. Now you say, okay, so that's 250 people who clicked on my ad and came to my website. They are not people who made a purchase. They've just reached my website. Now, these 250 people, if I've said 1% conversion rate, that means about maybe 25 people might end up making, 3 people might be making a purchase from me. Now, the other thing you have to take into account is the average order value. So if you said, okay, they'll probably buy something, in total worth $1,000. Again, that's something you guys will have to figure out based on the kind of products you're selling. So those are the kind of what ifs I've taken into account. So you can take that $4.50 is the average cost per click, depending on where your ad appears, conversion rate, 1%, 2%, so play around with those figures. That's how you can do it.
Lovely. Thank you, Sid, and thank you to the participants that submitted some questions. And over the coming days, you will receive a follow-up email with a link to view today's recording, and I'll also include Sid's email address as part of that. And he's also just displayed that on the screen at the moment. On behalf of Sid and APPA, thank you for all our participants in joining us today, and I hope you have a great afternoon. And thank you once again, Sid. Thank you.
Thank you so much.